there's a range of customers. We have a very active growth pipeline. We're hiring behind it. And then, as you know, we've talked about this before, acquisitions are key to what we're doing, right? And we're really looking at companies that are strong fundamental businesses that can continue to grow.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Claude Zanow. He is the CEO of Honor. And Claude, it's good to see you again. How are you?
Good to see you, Steve. Thanks so much for having me today.
Yeah, so the company's put out a bit of an update on what's been going on the last little while, and we'll get into that in just a second. But first, I want to talk to you a bit about you and the company itself. And this is not it's not a bunch of guys who just started up a couple of weeks ago. This is a well-oiled machine and with a lot of experience, starting with yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, people have only come to know us recently. Obviously, we did a rebrand and they think like it's coming kind of out of nowhere, but really the company's been around for 3 years. It was founded by kind of two large financial institutions that were investors, I should say, that had a vision for kind of growing and rolling up market technology-enabled marketing agencies. And they brought me in specifically based on my experience having done that before, and kind of the rest of the team that we've hired and built since then has been all about that. So we've existed in the private sector for a while now. We're just finally getting to the point of being able to complete this reverse merger, completing our audit. And so what I think people are going to see in the coming, quarters, months, weeks is a lot of information on who we are and where we've been in terms of financial performance, as well as where we expect to be going with acquisitions and the growth that's going to happen moving forwards.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that part of it in just a second, but I should also mention that in reading about your bio, which I've talked to you about in the past, you work with some pretty big clients as well. So obviously you've got some trust among those giants, let's say.
Yeah, look, I started my career at a very non-traditional kind of upbringing from kind of the music business world, eventually the kind of marketing and advertising world. And my previous firm that I was at, we worked with mostly kind of Fortune 500 brands, right? So everything from, LVMH and Diageo through Rolls-Royce and BMW to Microsoft, right? And of course, smaller companies as well. I think for Honor, while there is some desire to have opportunity with clients in the enterprise sector, we're really focused on kind of building a business for the middle market, right? There's a lot of big holding companies that have existed for many years, Omnicom, WPP, Havas, et cetera, that really are chasing that. And we just think that the middle market is a growing area. And with technology and with a lot of the things we're doing, we really can create solutions for those middle market and growth stage companies, as well as traditional companies that maybe have been around for a long time and are just starting their digital transformation journey in the marketing world.
Yeah, Claude, you've talked about partnerships, something the company is working on and working towards getting more. One of which is it with a telecom leader. So tell me a little bit about this one.
Yeah, so super exciting working with IQSTEL. I mean, they had kind of a similar story to us in the sense that they've been a publicly traded company. They were founded in 2008 and have been kind of growing over this period of time and are now kind of in the process of uplisting to NASDAQ. We're talking about a company on its way to doing $1 billion in revenue, but really they've grown so fast, they haven't done any of the work to really put their brand together and really think about how they're communicating who they are in the market. And it's a really exciting place for us to be because it's the exact type of client we want to be working with. We want to be kind of that first team in that's working directly with the CMO, the CEO, the CFO, right? To think about how we can use marketing, how we can use some of the new tactics and technology, not only to better communicate a message and a story, but also how to drive that revenue growth that they're looking for as they go into NASDAQ.
And that's just one partnership. I'm sure your pipeline is full of people potentially that would like to work with the company.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, there's a range of customers. We have a very active growth pipeline. We're hiring behind it. And then, as you know, we've talked about this before, acquisitions are key to what we're doing, right? And we're really looking at companies that are strong fundamental businesses that can continue to grow after we acquire them and continue to kind of grow our client base for the business.
Well, it sounds like it's an exciting time for you and the team, and we appreciate your time joining us, giving us a quick update. We'll talk again soon, okay?
Thanks so much, Steve. Appreciate you having me.
All right, there's Claude Zanow. He is the CEO of Honor.